Dublin. Shite. We've still got the government up our hole after 1 year. Love a pint. Fucking lockdown. Every time I wake up, I think of the free days. The times when you could get a haircut without all the fucking nonsense. You spend your whole life working towards something. Day in, day out. Only for it to turn into absolute shite. Every day is a constant reminder of my failure. How did I get here? Well, I suppose, to let you know the full story, we have to go back, way back, to the beginning, just before I met him.
Thanks so much for coming in today, Larry.
No worries, boss.
Got some information here. Rogue barber. Been delivering fresh fades during level 5 lockdown. I know. Some images.
Feck's sake.
Look at that.
Jesus.
I know. Look at this slick bastard. Look at the high line.
Horrible.
Look at that beard trim.
Oh, Jesus. Why'd you show me that one?
Showed you this because we've been getting COVID cuts off our wives who've been doing YouTube tutorials, and these guys are walking around looking like fresh bastards.
Yeah.
Got information now. Got a guy. Head of all Lecter. He's been located in Finglas. Need you to go and meet with him. Find all the information you can off of him and report straight back to me. Do you think you can do this?
I'll do my best, boss.
Off you go.
Jesus.
Larry! Be careful out there. He's a full-time mad bastard.
From Tsunami Studios, Transmission TV presents Friday Night Live, hosted by Kozak, deMars.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hold your applause. Hold your applause, everybody. Thank you so much. Woo! Geez, guys, how's it going? Welcome to episode 8 of Transmission TV. Oh my God, that was our first sketch, our first part of Silence of the Shams, by the way. Part 2 and Part 3 are coming throughout the show, so do stay tuned for that, by the way. We're going to be featuring the awesome comedian Darren Conway in the next scene, so don't go anywhere, guys. We have a fantastic show for you this evening, guys. I can't even begin to explain how amazing it's going to be. We have the wonderful Saibh Skelly going to be joining us very, very shortly. We're going to be having a chat with her. We're also going to be seeing some performances that she did earlier on in this studio. We've also got the wonderful Jay Smith joining us as well later on, and it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have a chat. We're going to have a Q&A as well, by the way, and we're going to see some performances as well. So some amazing stuff is going on in this studio.
The crack, man. Can you keep it down? Try to get kind of sleep.
What are you doing here?
And them lights are really bright. What's the story?
Sorry about this.
Are you doing the show?
Yeah, we're live.
What day is it?
It's Friday.
Have I been here for a week?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Well, hold on a second now.
Sorry about this, guys. I'm really sorry.
Hey,
we're
what's the
usually
crack, folks?
very professional here. I don't know what's going on. He's meant to be my co-host, but like, you've been sleeping there for a whole week?
Listen, myself and Keith, we were, breaking everything down last week. We did have a few cans, watched Rocky 4.
Keith, Keith's at it again, messing
Big
around
Trouble in
there.
Little China.
Say, Keith.
Yeah, but that's grand because, like a real comfortable couch.
Do you have clothes under there?
Yeah, man, I'm always good to go.
Oh, geez, you're ready to go and everything
I'm
anyway.
like your one-stop shop presenter.
All right,
so we're just going to do this,
Let's
yeah?
just do
Do
it.
we have
Yeah.
guests and all?
Yeah, we got guests and everything.
Really? Who'd you have?
Guest. Okay.
Who'd you have?
I'm going to let you know here, we got an amazing guest. We got amazing guests.
Awesome,
Right,
brilliant.
go and sit down.
That's
make
good,
yourself
that's
at
good
home.
anyway. Sure.
Jeez, just as well you're wearing something. Jeez, you're
It all
ready
turned
to
out
go,
for the
you are.
best. It all turned out for the best. So that's all right
That's it.
anyway.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely. Watering on here.
Maximillion Foy,
Hey,
ladies
what's
and
the story,
gentlemen.
folks? How you getting on? Jesus, a short week.
Call it short week for him. Yeah, I don't know what you've been up for the past week, to be honest with you, but however, I guess that's the rock star lifestyle. I
Absolutely,
suppose, when you're a
100%.
musician, isn't it? So everybody, you're all very, very welcome to the show. Yeah, I'm just gonna crack ahead and introduce our first artist. I'm very excited about this. And it's always great to get people from different genres and different backgrounds on the show, as always. We love to cover as much as we can of the independent music scene. And this artist is extra special because she is a busker, and she has been busking for the past 3 years in Dublin. And she's only 17 years old, would you believe it? Yeah, and so it's really, really cool. And I'm very excited to meet her. She has amassed over 80,000 Instagram follows in the past year or two. And she's amassed over 3 million views on YouTube. That's
crazy. Incredible.
Wow,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
At 17, I wish I had. At 17, what was I doing? I was playing games.
I wish.
Playing Nintendo 64, probably about that age, wouldn't it?
At 17 years of age, someone had just told me that I could do a Saibh Skelly.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't be sleeping on your couch.
Yeah, well, you mentioned her name. I didn't mention her name. You just ruined the surprise.
Do you know what? I must.
You know what? Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
In one
Forget
ear,
this.
out the other.
You know
Listen,
what?
I
Do you want to just take
in.
my job, do you?
Now that you mention it, this
Okay,
is a very comfy couch.
Right, so it is the fantastic Saibh Skelly. You're totally
great.
right.
I follow her on Instagram.
So over the lockdown, she kept performing, which is awesome. Much respect to artists that keep going, whether it be behind the camera or busking on Grafton Street, which is her go-to location. She also performed for Hot Press magazine as part of their lockdown sessions, and she performs regular gigs on Sessions Live. Most recently performed her headline show. I don't know if it was her debut, possibly her debut headline show in the Sound House alongside Jacob Koopman, which was run by our friends Fluttertone, of course. So I have written down here, if you hadn't guessed so far who it is, but obviously Colin spilled the beans, right? It is the wonderful, the one and only Saibh Skelly! More round of applause, I guess. Yeah, we're getting a bit of that now. We're getting an extended one for you. Okay, fantastic. It's still clapping. Feck it, I'll just get chatting. How are you keeping? What's the story?
I'm very good. I'm really happy to be here today.
Great to have you. I mean, watching your videos, watching your fan base, your community, and your performances, you're fantastic. You're absolutely amazing. 17 years old. I wish I had that talent at that young age. How are you keeping with all that stuff? Like, how are you feeling with all this? What's happened in the past couple of years for you?
I'm feeling great. I suppose you could say I'm living my best life at the moment because I've just finished school and kind of like now I can like focus on music, even though I have been focused on music kind of the last like couple of years, but now I can really kind of sit down and like focus everything on music. So everything's really good.
Awesome. Well, I mean, you got some great accolades as well over the past couple of years, and recently you had Hot Press Hot for 2021, which is a massive achievement. You had your debut headline show. Was that your first one?
I did. Recently? It was, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
That was an amazing experience, I suppose. I know there was no audience. It was a live stream show, but that was amazing kind of feeling to get up onto a stage, because I've only ever kind of performed on the street and for friends and family. So getting up on a stage, whether it was just for the cameras or not, was kind of amazing, and it was great to share it with Jacob, because Jacob is a very good friend of mine. He's another busker. So that was a great experience. I really enjoyed that.
What is it like that you love about busking that you can't get like playing a venue? I mean, you've gotten a taste for both. Which one do you prefer?
So I wouldn't like to say that I prefer one over the other. I think they're very different in the sense that kind of like busking is kind of it's a bit more laid back. It's not a gig. You're not like specifically performing for a specific group of people. It's kind of just like anyone can walk by and see you. And I think the best thing about busking is kind of the exposure you get, because you never know who's going to walk down Grafton Street. Grafton Street is a very busy street. There's like thousands and thousands of people walk by every day. And like any of those people could stop and like it could be their first time seeing you sing, seeing you as finding you. And I suppose I think that's the best part, like all the different people that you like that could see you.
I think you're affecting a lot more people, aren't you, that way?
Definitely.
Like you're definitely getting more coverage. And I guess it's a nice break as well from like the online stuff as well, isn't it? You get to be out in the fresh air, which is great. I mean, in Ireland, maybe it's not that great unless it's the summer, right? Let's not kid. I mean, the torrential rainfall we had a couple of days ago, you want to be busking in that, right? But it is nice. It's nice. I busked for a year myself.
Really?
I was playing the cajon for a project as well. And it was lovely. It was amazing. Now, of course, you know, we amassed a few people, you know what I mean? Not amazing amount, you know, and a couple of dodgy characters. Now, it is a little bit dodgy on the street. Like, how do you feel busking? Like, do you feel safe? How is it for you, like, as a busker? And what's the community like as well over there?
So, like, I definitely would feel safe. I think that people don't realise the buskers themselves, like, we are such a community in ourselves. Like, everyone is friends with everyone. And like when I first started busking, I was quite nervous, and like me and my mom went, and we didn't really know the rules, and we didn't really kind of like know what to do. But like shortly after, we found out, because all the other buskers are so helpful, and they're all so kind, and like some of the buskers are like some of the best people that I've met. And they're some of my closest friends now at the moment, because it was kind of a strange way to meet people on the street, I suppose. Sure. But I
guess it depends how you phrase it, isn't it? It's like, I just met these people on the street, like, I was busking, by the way. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I did. I met a lot of wonderful people on the street, and it is an amazing community, and everyone's kind of there to help you out all the time, and there's always someone there watching. So whether I'm there with one of my parents or a family member or not, like there's always going to be the other buskers there. And especially, I suppose, because I'm so young, that I would want to make sure that I'm safe, because it's such a public place. And as you said, there's a couple dodgy characters, but there's always someone there watching. So it's great.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to know. So what age were you when you started busking?
I just turned 15 when I started busking.
So here's this 15-year-old Saibh Skelly walking across onto Grafton Street, filled with all of these old pro, buskers. And what is the reaction that you get from those people when you're walking onto the street, young, fresh-faced busker, and about to do your first song? Was it intimidating? Did people make you feel welcome? What was the crack?
I suppose, like, straight away I was a little bit intimidated, because some of those buskers are like some of the most insanely talented musicians that I've ever kind of met, and it's crazy that they're still like out on the street and stuff. But I was intimidated like straight away. But when you actually meet them and talk to everyone, that completely changes, because they are such a welcoming group of people that I kind of automatically, I was like, this is great. And I kind of felt like I fit in kind of straight away with them. And I kind of felt like I could really relate to these people. So it was a little bit intimidating, but definitely like that didn't last very long.
And that's again, because the first time I busked, I was practically chased off Grafton Street.
Actually, yeah. Tell us a little bit about your busking.
First time I ever busked was with I don't know if you know Owen Leonard, a very, very versatile
I do, actually,
musician, and we decided to go. And we stood outside the Disney store, but the Disney store had just opened.
This on Grafton Street,
on
guys,
Grafton
by the way,
Street,
at home.
yeah.
This is we're talking busking talk here. Busking shop, by the way, just in case you were curious.
We did something by the Gaslight Anthem, and we did Everlong by Foo Fighters, and literally zero interest, zero coin. We went over to Henry Street, same thing, zero anything.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
So, do you
yeah,
have any
yeah.
like tips for like people that are starting out new and want to busk? Like, do you have like you should write a book or something
Yeah.
on this? Would you not think of a guide or some Saibh Skelly's guide to busking? You know, that sounds like a money maker.
I suppose like busking is kind of, it's different to other things. You got to remember that like you are at the end of the day, I suppose, trying to make money.
Absolutely.
And you're trying to attract kind of a crowd, I suppose. And like obviously there is specific genres of music and specific songs that people are going to automatically be attracted to. So like you could be the best singer or you could be the best guitar player in the world, but you could be playing a song that people don't know and they won't stop. And they won't get to stop and appreciate your talent. But if you play like, I'm going to use Ed Sheeran as an example because that's a very popular one on Grafton Street. If you play Perfect by Ed Sheeran, you could be like pretty average and not very good, but automatically you're gonna have people stop and listen because they recognise the song.
I got my set list sorted now. Brilliant. All Ed Sheeran songs.
Yes,
And
I've done it myself.
You look like quite a
yeah.
tall Ed Sheeran. You could
Yeah.
be, you know.
Thank you. Take that as a compliment.
100%.
Saibh, what's your favourite song to perform right now?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I get asked that a lot. I am still mad into Ed Sheeran. I love Ed Sheeran. I think probably Give Me Love by Ed Sheeran is one of my favourite songs to sing, along with a couple of the songs by Holly Humberstone. Deep End would probably be my favourite, and some of her other songs. And I also really like performing my original songs as well.
Awesome. It's great, I guess you kind of upsell, isn't it? So you gain the initial attraction from people. Is this true, actually? Let me know, maybe it's not. With the covers, so that'll hook them in almost, and then they'll stay for the originals. So then you can upsell your originals from doing covers. Is that kind of how you look at it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the little secret tips that I know a couple of people use. They would sing a very, very well-known song like Ed Sheeran or something, and then kind of without announcing the song, they would go straight into an original song of theirs because people are going to stay because you haven't specifically said what the song is. And then people will listen and appreciate how good it is and be like, oh, and then when you're finished, you're like, I wrote that song, and they're like, oh my God, that was really good. And
Money.
Yeah.
Where's the CDs?
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a great tip, a little secret tip we use.
You mentioned Holly Humberstone as being one of your kind of favourite artists. So you actually performed one of the songs by her called Deep End.
I did.
So it's an absolutely amazing performance, guys, and we're going to play that for you right now. And don't go anywhere, you guys at home. Let us know if you're enjoying the conversation. We're going to have a Q&A straight after this performance, and then we're going to have a little fun segment with Saibh. We always do a fun segment with our artists because interviews can be a little bit boring. So we like to spice it up and make it all weird and stuff. So do hang around for that as well. But prepare your question as well during the performance, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. So here's Saibh performing Deep End by Holly Humberstone. Enjoy.
Throw me in the deep end. I'm ready now to swim. The air in my lungs may not last very long, but I'm in. I see you on the weekend, dancing like a star. You've practiced your lines to convince us you're fine, but I know that's not where we are. Once in a blue moon you may come undone. We're made up of the same blood. I'll be your medicine if you let me. Give you reason to get out of bed. Sister, I'm trying to hold off the lightning and help you escape from your head. Come and waste the day, watch a Super 8 videotape. We were kids in the car, having light-hearted arguments. We don't know what's there till it's gone. Just hear me out and you might understand. the same blood. I'll be your medicine if you let me. Give you reason to get out of bed. Sister, I'm trying to hold off the lightning and help you escape from your head. Throw me in the deep end. I'm ready now to swim.
Really tricky. My mom always asks me really tricky questions, and I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, does she? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm usually pretty good at like being like, well. But yeah, she
Yeah.
always asks me really hard.
She asked you the hard questions, does she? So, by the way, guys, well, first of all, that was Saibh Skelly, of course, if you hadn't noticed already, performing a wonderful cover of Deep End by Holly Humberstone. And we're just chatting about questions and stuff like that. So, yeah, guys, if you want to throw in your questions into the chat, feel free, and I will pass them on to Saibh. And no pressure, like, you know, throw in any kind of nice questions you have. And we've got her lovely manager slash mother here. Can I say that? Can I say that she's here? And we're just chatting. She always asks the hardest questions for Saibh. So yeah, see if you can beat the toughness, right? Because she kind of up there on the toughness scale of questions.
She is, definitely.
What does she like? Does she comment in on your live stream? Is that what she does?
She does, and sometimes I know a lot of people would have seen we do live streams together. And we sit down together and I play kind of a couple songs, and she asks me like questions, whether it's her questions or questions that people are commenting, and people really do love those live streams. I think they're some of the most viewed live streams I have on YouTube and stuff, is the one with me and my mom.
No way, I haven't seen one of those yet, so I got to check them out and see what does your mom get asked any questions, like any strange ones, or will we just bring her onto the show, will we? So she's like, no. Okay, we won't put you on the spot like that. I should have probably consulted you in the email as well. I'm so sorry. It's like, no, I shouldn't be doing that. So while I wait for the questions to come in, and if any come in, of course, we got some great comments actually. Anyway, we got people saying like, wow, amazing, love this one. Goosebumps. Tony Austin is saying, we got Michael Arbader, our well-known independent artist aficionado. He knows so much about independent artists. He's such an amazing support, and he's saying the best. Yeah, loads, guys, there's just too many comments coming in. It's great. So Philip is saying Neve's questions are killers.
They are.
Jesus, that's a statement and a half. Anthony Riley says Neve always asks good questions. Well, there you go. So it's not all things. So actually, yeah, Dave Duggan is saying, what's the best venue you've played in? You've only played in one venue at the moment, right?
Technically, I've only played in one venue, but I was doing a couple of live stream gigs in the Soundhouse in Dublin, run by Fluttertown and kind of Fen Media. I know you guys are friends of theirs. So I was doing venues there. I was doing a lot of live stream gigs and stuff, but I recently just did another gig with actually people watching.
Amazing.
What?
Which, yes.
My mind is blown.
I know.
That's happening now.
Yeah, it was in the outdoor seating area in the same bar that the Soundhouse is in. So technically it is the same venue, but it was a different stage. It was set up outside, and I had my family and friends there to watch while they outdoor dined. And I played a few songs, and that was probably my favourite, because I think like playing outdoors and for other people, that was really sick. It's
fulfilling the criteria of you transitioning from busking into a venue. It's kind of like that buffer before you get into the...
It's like you're already playing on the biggest venue in Dublin, which is like Dublin.
Open air. That's the best venue, I think, right?
Do you know what? I actually have a question for you, and I was thinking about while I was watching your wonderful performance there of the Holly Humberstone song. You have a lovely picking style, and you know, you're only 17. How long have you been playing guitar to develop such a lovely picking style and such a great control, you know, over what you play, and being able to use your voice so brilliantly as well?
Well, firstly, thank you, because I suppose I've always been a little bit insecure about my guitar playing. That's been one of my kind of like biggest things that I was kind of like, I felt like it was holding me back a little bit, because I've only been playing guitar, I want to say I started playing guitar maybe a year before I started busking, so it was probably 3 or 4 years ago now, and I wasn't practicing very much, and I realised that, and I went out busking, and I could strum the chords, but it wasn't anything special. So I worked on it, and I've been working on it a lot more the kind of past while. Absolutely. And it's kind of just come from that. I think I think it was almost good that I was a little bit insecure about it, because it did make me practice more.
Work on it, yeah,
And it made me,
absolutely.
it did make me work on it, and I'm getting there.
Sure.
I am just about getting there now. I feel a bit better about it.
And what's your guitar of choice?
So I'm using a Martin Dreadnought Jr., which is like my favourite ever, but I do have a couple other guitars. I have a Zager guitar, and I've got an electric guitar as well, which I don't play very much, but it's in a couple of my videos, and I'm going to try work on a little bit more. I would like to play that.
Awesome. Cool.
One of the questions coming in are, when are you thinking about having a studio recording release?
So
Do you get asked that a lot?
I do.
I feel like you do. Yeah.
I do. I've been always asked kind of the last while about studio recordings and Spotify and iTunes and stuff. And I suppose I can't say much at the moment. I'm trying to keep it on the low, but I am working on some very big things at the moment behind the scenes. And I am in the studio. I'm not going to say what I'm recording, but it will be announced over the next kind of few months, I want to say. And one thing definitely is that I'll be posting a lot of sneak peeks on TikTok. So if you want to find out the kind of like studio and behind the scenes stuff, do follow me on TikTok, because that's where everything's going to be.
Amazing, fantastic. Yeah, that's great. I'm really looking forward to seeing some studio recordings, and we have some recordings as well, still performances from within the studio that we'll show you very shortly as well. And it includes an original song,
Does?
which I'm super excited about, and it's called Everything You Want. And so stick around for that, guys, as well. So will we throw in one more question for Saibh, actually, from the guys? We'll throw in another. So we've got one from Becca Music saying, what advice do you have for music channels? I play piano, and I was wondering if you have any tips for growing a music channel. I really like your covers, especially the Olivia Rodrigo ones.
Well, thank you. Thank you for one. Thank you, Becca. I suppose tips. I got to say that you just kind of got to keep at it. It is very slow starting off. I think it is slow for everyone, no matter what. It's going to be slow starting a channel and starting kind of an account on Instagram or anything. But I suppose you just got to keep posting, and you got to keep posting. And I find with every video I post, I almost improve with every video. So I think the more you post, the more you are going to improve, and the more your videos are going to get better, whether that's you being better at your piano, or you being better at singing, or the quality of it and stuff. I suppose I figured out a lot about recording videos and stuff over the last few years, because I posted so much and because I kind of kept at it. So the biggest tip I have is to just keep going and keep posting, and eventually it will become easier, and I suppose your channel will grow eventually.
Yeah. What's kind of your biggest motivator? Like, do you have kind of a big motivation or an aspiration that you're kind of visualizing ahead, or is it a person, or is it a place or a thing? Is it a noun?
I wouldn't want to pick out one thing in particular, because I think I'm motivated by loads of different things, whether that be my friends and family, like my mom in particular, and like my friends, like the other musicians I know and stuff. I suppose that's one big thing, and I suppose just myself and kind of where I want to be in the future, and kind of I want to be able to make a living off music, because that is the one thing that I'm very interested in, and I kind of don't see myself doing anything else. So that is kind of the biggest motivation I have, is that if I work hard enough, I won't have to do anything else. And my biggest hobby is going to be like my job, and it kind of is at the moment, and I'm doing really well, I think, for myself and like what age I am and stuff. So that is the biggest motivation, that I want to be able to make a living off this. Amazing, amazing. And speaking of age, you're 17, you're making us feel a little bit old here.
So old.
Saibh, Max, I mean, are you feeling a little old there?
I'm feeling ridiculously old.
Now, unintentionally, I might add, don't worry, I know you're not deliberately, it's just how it works, isn't how life works. You're gonna meet people that are younger than you, right? That's just gonna live with it, right? I'm not gonna be...
Aging, it's like unavoidable, isn't it?
Yeah, so for our fun segment, because of this fact, and we didn't want to go typical. We always try to go a little bit, shake things up a little bit. So for our fun segment today, we are going to give Saibh Skelly the Millennial Challenge.
Specially curated.
Yes, the Millennial Challenge, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to just throw a lot of stuff together. By the way, this is very low budget entertainment at this stage, so all the good...
You're kidding.
Don't worry, there's going to be more live performances, guys, okay? This is just a bit of crack, shake things up. We're going to be showing a couple of pictures from the past. Some of it might be actually Gen X as well. We're going back a little bit, right? Like, this is older than us, right? We're not that old.
It's older, well, it's older than you.
Wow,
it's older than me.
I don't know.
I've lost all concept of time. But anyway, I think the thing is just to share our, break down boundaries between, we consider ourselves millennials?
I think I don't think it's not that you consider yourself. I think you just get boxed into an age group and you are one.
I think you just are what you are.
You can't change it. Yeah.
So if you're comfortable with being a Gen Z,
I am.
Yeah, okay.
Gen Z is pretty cool. Gen.
It's pretty cool.
I like that, Gen.
So we're going to try and make the divide a little bit smaller.
We're going to make the divide smaller. That's exactly what we are. So it's not a condescending thing. We don't want to misconstrue here or anything like that. It's just we're sharing our sort of our past, isn't it, basically, with Saibh. And then we're going to flip it and then make
then we are going to flip it.
Yeah, basically. So do you know what this is? Have you seen this before? I'm sure you have, right? It's an artist.
It's a tape.
It's a tape.
It's a tape.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Have you held a tape before in your hand? Have you used one ever? Like, have you experienced?
I don't think so. No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's crazy to sort of hear, because I remember using the tape and you get a pencil and stuff to wind it down and stuff like that. Neve's nodding there saying, yeah, those were the days.
You know what's funny as well, because the tape is coming back.
Is it?
I was in Tower Records the other day and I saw the Declan McKenna album on tape. Which is such a Declan McKenna thing to do.
So maybe Saibh should be releasing one of her
Tapes.
songs on tape as well.
Maybe.
Tapes, vinyls come back as well, actually. And
Definitely vinyl is big.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next picture. And by the way, guys in the comments, if you want to comment in anything about this, have you seen this before? Let us know. And Saibh, what do you think?
I don't think I've seen this specifically. I know that it's some sort of game console.
Yes, you're
I
pretty
know
good.
that you play games on it. I've never played games on it, but that's what I would
That's
think.
essentially what it is, so you're not wrong.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's the first Game Boy, right, Colin?
The first Game Boy, absolutely. And if you look at the little green screen in there, that's the actual graphics. So there you go.
Tetris.
That's how stuff looked
That's
like
it.
when we
Well,
were
there you
kids.
go. You got it. You got the Tetris
That's
in one.
exactly
So
what
there
it
you go.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
See, those were the days, though.
Those
you know what
were
I mean?
the
Like
days.
playing with your little
Absolutely.
thing.
Spend all your money on batteries.
See, if I was playing that less and like busking and doing music more, I'd probably be a lot more successful now in my 30s now, to be honest. So, but anyway, let's bring on the next one. All right, what do you think this is?
It's a tape as well. I don't know.
Yes, well, you are correct. You're technically correct. There's a VHS tape, dear. A VHS tape. The visual equivalent of what you just saw earlier on. But you couldn't wind it with a pencil. If it came to the point where you had to wind that with a pencil,
that was horrible. You had to
watch
put it in the machine, and it was like, whatever, just put it in, and then you have to press the button, and it just goes really loud and rewinds it for you.
So and if the picture was weird,
Movies
you have to take it out.
it.
You have to blow on it, like you have to blow on the tape, and
it's like Netflix, like in a box.
Exactly. In a physical box, pretty much. But you could only fit one movie on it.
100%. If you didn't like the film, it was
like there was no choices.
You were done. You just
hello everybody. I'm the resident sound man.
By the way, we forgot.
I forgot to come in earlier, so I was too busy, But I just wanted to say it was mad looking at the VHS tape earlier when we were setting this up, because I was just thinking about how long it used to take.
To rewind the movie.
Do you remember we had to rewind them before you gave them back to the actual rental company?
Did you have to do that?
They had the sticker.
Before there was Netflix, you had to rent video.
Yeah.
And you had to go down to a shop and you didn't know if they were good or shite. And you had to read them.
They would sometimes be damaged because it's very sensitive.
You didn't even know if they were in good quality.
And also there was
and
always
then people wouldn't rewind them, and you knew to rewind them when you got them.
Yeah, I remember there used to always be this warning as well at the start, and it's like, if this video doesn't have that flashy hologram on the front, you're stealing. And it's just like you'd be scared. You'd be just like, let's just check it. Is there a flashy thing on the front? I'm really scared. So they almost threatened you before you watched the bleeding movie.
You wouldn't steal a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go into a shoe shop and walk out with the shoes.
Yeah, that's basically how the commercials were. Like, piracy is a crime. And you're like, dude, I'm trying to watch Disney here. Like, give me a break. Like, I'm a kid. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, guys. And, that's an interesting one there, yeah? Everyone's commenting in, be kind, rewind.
I think we have you stumped with this one.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's something like you play games on as well?
Kind of.
It's like Pac-Man, I don't know.
So it's a Tamagotchi.
Okay.
Right, that's what it's called. Weird saying that now. It feels like it's been years. So I used to have one when I was in second class. So I would have been 8 years old. And that would have been in, I'm not going to give my age away just yet. But it's basically a little digital animal. and you make it grow. You feed it, you take it on walks, and it actually gets bigger and evolves over time, like over days, sometimes weeks. Like it's actually like your little digital pet. And people used to have them, like everyone used to have them in school. And you just put them on your key ring, and then you have your little Tamagotchi, and then you could actually connect them together. Could you, like, make friends and stuff?
You can
with
make
other
friends
people?
and stuff. And if you didn't look after it, you just come back. And like if you went for a night out, you just come back and it'd be dead. And you have to start again. You have to press the two buttons together to revive to hatch your egg again. Yeah, but you know what's interesting about that is like, I don't know, those would be mid '90s, but maybe like in the height of the emo wave. People were like wearing them as chains around the place, like we're bringing them back as a fashion accessory.
Did you wear it around your neck, Colin? Did you?
No, I wasn't into that emo stuff. I was metal as fuck.
Were you metal? Yeah.
Metal
No
as fuck,
Tamagotchi for you then.
Well, black Tamagotchi.
Black
I
Tamagotchi.
was hatching dragons like Theo over here.
Was it like a snake or something or whatever?
Absolutely.
Like a dragon.
I forgot if when they died, did you have to like reset them or something?
It starts from scratch. Yeah, it's over.
I forgot. Like I couldn't remember.
I had a little dragon one. I don't know what happened to it. It was
And
lovely.
if you
really enjoyed that.
I think if 3 or 4 of them died, you get a visit from the guards.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Guys, you're making me miss the 90s so much here.
Because now everything's on the phone. Like you have absolutely everything on the phone. Everything that we show you here is pretty much on the phone now.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
amazing
that's
to
very
imagine,
true.
isn't it? On one device. Everything used to be separated.
I think there was a little bit of fun in that.
Absolutely.
I'm old, I get it, but like, you know.
Yeah, you are old.
Yeah.
You are old.
Well, I get older
Sounds
because you
like
keep me in this little cave here.
So you're not getting any sunlight in there. You're not getting any younger. We need to get you some vitamin D tablets in there. All right, let's show us the next one, Keith, though. Let's go. All right, I actually don't. I'm not
don't
well
remember
aware of
this
this one.
one?
No, I'm not.
Oh my
I've
God.
seen it in the Home Alone.
Yes,
But anyway,
yeah.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
This is a rare one now.
I'm gonna guess that it's something you play music on.
Yes. Very good.
That's all I've got.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Colin, you
dive
know
into
more about this.
the history of the Talk Boy.
Here we go.
You
He's
know
prepared this
Home
now.
Alone, right? The movie Home Alone.
yes, I do.
Yes. Well, in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, there was a scene where he recorded the crooks or whatever, recorded his own voice and used the Talk Boy to change his voice, to let the crooks think that there were adults there. So all of us kids were like, we need to get them and like fool our teachers and stuff. So like they were ridiculously expensive, and we had to like beg our parents to get them. So like we'd be in school and there'd be like one Talk Boy between 20 of us, and we'd all have to like, you know, bring it up and like go back. But then of course when you got older, you'd be like recording your tunes onto it and stuff.
There was
so
a
like
practical use
exactly.
for it.
So
Yeah.
you'd buy that as a kid, but you were like, I've nothing to record my songs onto. So you're like, oh, that Talk Boy, and you'd bring it down. So kind of retro,
That's
you know, retro
cool.
value as well. So
Guys, you're missing the best part. We used to do prank phone calls with them.
Yes. Because you could make your voice.
Oh, right. You can slow down your voice.
Hey.
Your voice sound like this.
That's brilliant. Awesome. Okay, let's do the next one. And do you have any background music there, Keith, or anything kind of chill
Ominous.
to play as well? Okay, so have you seen this one before?
I think so.
Nice one.
I think it's a Furby.
Yay!
So how do you know that? How do you know the name of that? Do you remember where you might have?
Did they have kind of like new versions of them
I
on the
think they
Late
did.
Late Toy
Probably
Show
they
or
did.
something? I
Oh,
think.
maybe. They're our competitors, so we don't
Late
like
Late
mentioning
Show.
them on the show.
They
you
were
know?
on another. They were on a TV show that
They're
I
on
would have
some
seen.
unnamed
Unnamed
TV show, yeah.
TV show
broadcasting
about
channel.
toys. That
Yeah,
happens
it's probably
once a year.
mediocre. Like
Yeah.
we're going to do our next one for Christmas.
no.
You watch our one. It's during Christmas. It's going to be
Unless,
great.
of course, you end up on the toy show next year.
Oh, well, then we'll be
Get a bit old now.
We'll be supporting you. We'll be supporting you.
100%.
Don't worry, you'll never be as
We'll
old
let
as us.
sleeping dogs
so
lie.
you're fine. Great. So you got that one, yeah?
I
Furby.
did, yeah.
So did you ever see it in action, like what it does and stuff like that?
I
It's kinda
don't think so.
weird.
It kind of moves around.
Yeah, it moves its
what
mouth
does
and
either.
stuff, and it has like a load of different phrases. Did you ever own one? Did you?
I didn't know one. Again, I was
No.
metal as fuck, so I
yeah.
wanted like a
They didn't have
furry
black
dragon
Furbies.
Black Furby.
that like sang Metallica songs.
You probably
Squeeze
burnt
the
your
belly.
Furby or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's, will we just do one more? Will we do a final one, Keith? What you think? And then
got
we'll move
more.
on to this one. So what's, yeah, there we go. Mr. Frosty. What you reckon?
Well, I'm gonna guess with the name. It's like a slushy maker. Is that what
Pretty
it
much
is?
exactly
like?
what it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're on a roll. On a roll.
Slushy
There we go.
maker, there you go. Fair play to you.
Good guess.
I don't think I ever owned one. I always
Mr.
wanted
Frosty.
one, but my parents never got me one. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
it was because it was full of sugar, so they'd be like,
Was
"We're
it?
not getting them that.
Ah,
They're
that
hyper
was
enough." So it was
I
like,
was a
you know, it
hyper
was just
kid,
something you'd,
so,
you'd,
yeah.
you'd stand in front of the toy shop window with your hand on the screen, like, you know, Mr. Frosty, we'll
Yeah.
be together someday.
Was there a song about it or something?
It was like, Mr. Frosty is such fun. He makes drinks for everyone. That's the song.
Is that it?
Yes.
Jesus. Oh, that's triggering stuff in my brain now. I'm getting
my
nostalgic here.
God.
Wow, amazing. So that's it, guys. I think. Did you want to?
Yes, we're
finish
going
off
to
with
flip the
something?
switch side.
Okay.
We're gonna turn it on himself, who was loving making you squirm there with all this old shite that no one cares about. So I have a list here of basically, I have a little quiz for Mr. Kozak.
Okay.
And it's of Gen Z sayings. Millennial, gnarly dude. No, Gen Z sayings, right? That I got off the internet, so I don't know if
God.
these are real things.
Okay.
Anyway, so here we go. So
Okay, so I have to guess what they
you
mean.
have to try and
is it,
guess
or-
what they mean. Yeah.
So, did you want Saibh to read them out, or you read them out?
Do you know,
yeah?
I think I
You
read
read them
it.
out.
My handwriting is atrocious.
Did you write that by hand? Did you?
I did. I
Jeez,
wrote
fair
by
play
hand. That's
to
how
you.
much I
wouldn't have
put
the
into
time.
the
That's
show.
definitely
Yeah.
that's definitely millennial stuff now, right?
This is it, and I didn't even know I was going to be on the show today. So
You didn't. You
It was
fell asleep
very,
on the
it was
couch.
very
I'll
clever.
let
of
you.
me.
I'll let you away with that
So
one.
the first one is,
Okay.
if I were to say to Saibh, I high key love your shallow cover, what would I mean?
I high key. So
I high key love your
All right. So
shallow
high
cover.
key is like I.
Saibh was like,
I
"What the fuck are you
openly.
talking about?"
I would say that a lot.
High key would be like openly.
Yes.
Because low key is kind of like on the slide.
Yes, exactly.
Is that right? Is high key that? Right? Because I know low key, but I never heard high key being
I
said.
think it's like enthusiastically. I
Oh, right, okay.
enthusiastically like
Okay.
your shoes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, your shallow cover. That's the next one.
Okay. I thought skin.
Skin.
Yeah, shallow cover, like skin.
No, your shallow cover. All right.
All right.
It's the
Okay, so
coverage of
clothes.
Ballyfermot.
Oh, very good.
shallow, high key shallow coverage of Ballyfermot.
Oh, okay. It might be a
Right.
colloquial thing. It might change depending on the state or something.
So the
yeah.
second one is, so Kozak, if I were to say to you, Saibh Skelly is such a mood, what would I mean?
I would say like a vibe. She's such a vibe, like a positive vibe.
Yes,
Yeah?
I think so. Isn't
Yes,
that right?
I would use that
Yes,
word
yes,
an
yes.
awful lot.
And finally, if I were to say,
I'm not doing bad at this, guys.
you're not doing too
No,
bad.
no,
This is it. You're not as
that's
out of touch as you
I
would.
told
You
you, I
would
watch a bit of Twitch
believe.
now. I do. I watch a bit of the youngsters on the Twitch. You know.
So the
doing
next one
games.
is, okay, if I were to say, Dave Duggan is not a troll, and you were to reply to me, that's cap.
That's.
What would you be implying?
Oh, that's BS.
bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
absolutely. 'Cause David
Yeah.
Duggan is a troll. If
He's
you
a
don't
troll
know
and
who David
three-quarters,
Duggan
yeah.
is. David Duggan, who asked you a question, a very untrolly question for David. David is our resident troll, so there you go. Do you think Kozak did well on the?
I think you did really well. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
you'll be all like.
I'm impressed with
Greetings,
myself.
fellow kids.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous. You know, I don't
There you
like being
go.
put on the spot. Like, I obviously
right.
wasn't prepared for that at all. No, seriously, I wasn't. So it was. I'm proud of myself. I must have just absorbed it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I must have absorbed it.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's great. Well, that was a fun
That's
segment,
it,
guys.
yeah.
Thanks so much, Colin, as well, for taking part. And Saibh, thank you so much for taking part in our
course, it was
madness.
cool.
I'm glad we got to shake it up a little bit. And guys at home as well, thanks so much for commenting in and asking questions. We're going to leave you with 2 more songs. But before we go, Saibh, is there anything you'd like to sort of mention? I know you mentioned a little bit. There's some plans in the future. We're not going to talk too much. You already mentioned a little bit. But is there anything you'd like to mention to the people watching at home?
So no, I think really just if you want to kind of keep up to date with me and what I'm doing in my life and my music, do make sure you follow me on social media because I post everything on social media, and I'm gonna be posting an awful lot over the next while. So if you do want to keep up to date, that is the best way to find me. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok mostly, I suppose, and YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of other stuff. So. That's
Awesome,
all I have
Saibh.
to say, really. And just thanks for having me.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's so nice to meet you and chat to you. And you guys at home as well, thanks so much for tuning in. But don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more songs by the wonderful Saibh Skelly. And I'll just give you their names. This is How You Fall in Love, and it's a Jeremy Zucker cover. And also, she's going to be playing an original, yes! And it's called Everything You Want. So stay tuned, guys. After this as well, we're going to play part 2 of Silence of the Shams. And in this scene, we're going to be featuring the awesomely hilarious Darren Conway, guys, so don't go anywhere. And we're also going to be joined later on, or very shortly at this stage, by Jay Smith, an absolutely wonderful singer-songwriter. So thanks again, guys. And if you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to like the stream and sub. We do this every 2 weeks, so it'd be great if you guys do that and if you enjoy it. So I'll leave you with those 2 songs, and I'll chat to you very soon.
drive. We turn off the phones to just be alone. We'll draw the curtains and never leave home. I had a nightmare, but now that I'm not scared, this is how you fall in love. Let go and I'll hold you up. Hold me tight and close your eyes. Oh my loves, I too sigh. What's easy is right. My mother's advice. You are the reason that I never think twice. Wherever we go, what glitters is gold, and you'll be my best friend until we grow old. I had a nightmare, but now that I'm not scared, this is how you fall in love. Let go and I'll hold you up. So pull me tight and close your eyes. Oh my loves, I too sigh. 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 Oh my love. This is how you fall in love. Just let go and I'll hold you up. Pull me tight and close your eyes. Oh my loves, I too sigh. You say you're busy. You say you ain't got time to miss me. You say you're waiting just a little while, but you're still winking with the cheeky smile. You say you're tired. You say you don't have time, you're wild. You say you got a really toxic ex. You never know what might be your next. Yeah, I know that you want to. I know that I tempt you when you're giving to your heart in the end. But I don't want all them other little boys. I just want you 'cause they're all dumb and immature. You think I'm young, but don't play dumb, 'cause we both know that I'm everything. I know you'd jump at any chance you got to even talk to me. Tell me, would you not? 'Cause yeah, you might think I'm young, but don't play dumb, 'cause we both know that I'm everything you want. You live across the city, but that's not far enough to scare me. You know know my mom says you're a real nice guy, and that you're exactly the right type. Yeah, I know that you want to, I know that I tempt you, and you're giving to your heart in the end. 2, 3. But I don't want all them other little boys. I just want you 'cause they're all dumb and immature. You think I'm young, but don't play dumb, 'cause we both know that I'm everything. I know you'd jump at any chance you got to even talk to me. Tell me, would you not? 'Cause yeah, you might think I'm young, but don't play dumb, 'cause we both know that I'm everything you want. I'm everything you want. Yeah, we both know that I'm everything you want. Yeah, thank you. I've been Saibh Skelly.
Edible?
Yo, how do you know my name?
I'm Detective Larry Starling. Here to ask you a few questions. Are you all right? What are you doing there?
Just punching the wall.
All right.
Larry Starling.
Yeah.
Boy, hang on a second. I seen your face on the telly.
No, you didn't.
You off the
No,
K
no.
district,
No,
aren't you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, all right, fair enough. I was, but I was an extra role. That was Nah, that was a one-off stint, man. Right? They didn't even pay me for that.
Oh, inside the K, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Caramel macchiato, yeah?
Well, that's all they had.
Garda drink. What are you looking for, man?
There's a rogue barber on the loose, giving out fresh fades in the level 5 lockdown. Our sources say that you might have some information on that.
Never heard of him.
You never heard of him?
Never heard of him.
Any assistance with this case, and we might be able to reduce your JLOs.
Lovely.
Right?
Get rid of all of them.
It's on my card.
All 200 of them.
Maybe 230, wasn't it?
235, yeah. Have you got a badge or anything like that to show proof that you're a Garda?
You happy with that?
That's not you.
That is me.
Come here. You're about a mile away from me, mate. Come a bit closer then.
How's that? Can you see that now?
Not really, no.
There, can you see it now?
No, just step in. Just step in. Just about here. Two for flinching.
Glandy. That wasn't a flinch. That wasn't a flinch.
There was a flinch.
No, it wasn't.
You little flincher.
What are you talking about?
Talking about you flinching.
That wasn't a flinch. Thanks for nothing. Absolute time waster.
The last copper that came up here and said that to me, I loafed him onto the deck. chop them up, and I ate them with some taco sauce.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm grand.
Didn't look like you were.
I'm grand, I said.
Right, listen, it looks like I'm not getting anywhere here, man. Thanks for wasting my time. See you later.
You're looking for the fresh fade, man. His name is Yup, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Right? That's all I'm telling you.
Well, I need more info than that. That's
He's
not
in
going to help
Tesco
me.
car park. If you stand in the middle and say, Yup, bro, he comes out of nowhere and gives you a fresh fade, right?
Yup, bro, you joking me?
Cut your hair, bro. You get rid of that Barney.
You're messing.
He's in Tesco car park. Yeah?
You serious?
100%.
All right. You better be telling the truth. See you later.
Oh, fuck off. Fly, Starling. Fly.
Tesco car park. Yup, bro. Scratch cards. Taco sauce.
Now, yup, 7 Up. So that was part 2 of The Silence of the Shams.
Yeah.
With the absolutely fantastic Darren Conway. And we're going to have part 3 of that towards the end of the show after our next guest. Also, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. That was the amazing Saibh Skelly. Incredible talent.
Absolutely incredible.
Talent. And
yeah, at that young age as well, 17.
Absolutely.
I wish I had that much talent at
Well,
17.
I don't remember what it was like to be 17.
Yeah,
you know,
geez, we're really old, aren't we?
As far as I'm concerned, I was born at the age of 25. I still look like that to this day.
I feel like my age just capped at 28, and then that's it.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
your life peaked at 28.
Did it?
Well, I hate to break it to you. But anyway, folks, so we're back, and we're going to have another fantastic guest
Yes.
as well.
That cheered me up
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Oh,
That
there you
cheered
go.
me
There you
up.
go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a chat, which is at the moment. So keep it here, keep the energy rolling along, and we're going to talk about just something that has been in the news lately in the last week. Something that I'm sure everybody has an opinion on, and that is. The opinion is on this ridiculous, what do they call it, pilot test festival.
Right.
That was done during the week.
The
yeah,
pilot
absolutely.
festival that happened in Kilmainham. Is that correct?
Kilmainham, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments as well. It's a little bit of a conversation segment we have in the middle, guys. We're only going to be about 5 minutes, a bit of a chit chat. So if you want to get involved with the chat, do post it in. And as Colin said, we got another guest coming on, the wonderful Jay Smith. And we've got live we got performances and interview as well coming up, as well as the sketch. But this is our in-between segment. Yeah, it's very interesting to bring that up. I remember you chatting on the phone and you mentioned it to me, and you were like, what do you think about it and stuff? And I sort of, like, it was kind of a mixed feeling thing, you know. It's kind of like, oh, I see that, you know, there might be some kind of positivity happening here, but like the fact that it's supposed to be like a learning curve, it feels like you can't really learn much from that, because that's only setting up a future for keeping it in people in pens.
Absolutely.
So it's like the best test will be to actually, like, you know, test people before, have them like in a low sort of confined area, but together, You know what I mean? And then
sure.
test them on the way out. I don't know. Look, I'm not a scientist, right? But that's just my thoughts anyway as an event organizer.
But we do know
what did you think?
I never knew that if you were a social media person or an influencer, that you were less likely to get COVID and more inclined to mingle. So that's cool.
Tell us a little bit about that, actually. Yeah, that's an interesting point.
It was up the front. Up the front, you had your social media influencers and you had your,
not socially distant.
your celebs.
So there was like this classism, was there, like involved?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's not surprising.
So that's about. As we said, we want to keep it kind of a little bit, more positive, and not just harp on about the government because we've been doing that for the last year. Yeah, we've been doing that for the last year. So what we're going to do is, I was going to ask you, Mr. Kozak, you have been involved with several festivals over the years. You put on your own festival, for God's sake.
I did. You were involved with it.
I was involved with it. Yeah. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
I haven't forgotten.
But anyway, I was just going to ask you, what's your favourite festival memory? What's your favourite, just a moment that stands out to you, the magic of the Irish Festival? And folks, give us some examples of your own in the comments, and we'll have a bit of a throw around a chit chat about that.
Yeah.
But your Kozak, you fire away and tell us.
And you know what? Actually, it's great you're bringing that up. So, guys, if you comment in your festival experiences, and the best one or the most interesting one as well, we're going to give away. I'm feeling generous today.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
absolutely.
generous. We'll give away a 1 month free Patreon Tier 2 subscription, right? Where's the camera? It's over here. Tier 2, which is going to feature secret songs from the artists you saw today, by the way. So Saibh Skelly recorded a secret song with us, and Jay Smith recorded a secret song, and only our Tier 2 Patreons have access to that. So we're going to give one lucky person in the comment section today 1 month access to that, where you're going to see those songs. So comment away, let us know what your most memorable or interesting festival experience is, and we're going to decide as well towards the end. So stick around. So yeah, it's a hard one actually, because there have been so many festival experiences for myself, and obviously running the Transmission online festival was an amazing experience, but it was highly stressful and it was work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was amazing. It's definitely up there. It's definitely top. But I wanted to pick one where I'm not actually involved in, and I just got to let loose. And it was my first festival ever, and it was Oxygen 2006. And wow, what Oxygen turned into after. It was the good days of Oxygen.
Amazing.
And there was so many fantastic bands. There was Scissor Sisters, there was Foo Fighters, I believe. There was Enter Shikari. I was into some really interesting bands back then. But one of the bands that stood out for me was Daft Punk. And God love them. Broke up this year or last year. They broke up recently. Yeah. Which is such a shame. But I
was at that gig, and it was the best gig I was ever at.
Yeah, Keith was at that gig.
Yeah.
I
lost all my friends, and I just had 2 big yokes of milk cartons full of Jaeger. My drink, my personal festival drink. I call it, what's it called again? Buckmeister. It's Jägerfast. Jägerfast or Buckmeister. It's Buckfast and Jägermeister.
That sounds horribly lethal. We were drinking absinthe. Which is horribly lethal as well.
Yeah, it was lethal, but it was great fun.
Oh, it's all about the crack at the end. I was at the very front, and I ended up crowd surfing. So I ended up getting crowd surfed a little bit.
Man, so did I.
No way!
Yeah.
That was probably one of my most memorable moments. I just loved it, and I loved that.
And this is before, so everyone at home knows, this is before I met you. So, or knew you. So we probably like crowd surfed by each other.
You like waved at each other.
In
a different
maybe
life.
in the crowd somewhere, yeah.
Hey,
but then a security guard grabbed my leg and was like, "Get down, or you're getting out of the gig." And I was like, "Yeah, no worries. I want to stay here. Sorry." Soz, but that's probably my most memorable experience. What's your most memorable?
I was thinking about this. We used to go over to Monsters of Rock in Donington, or Download it became. One of the first years we went over was the year that SARS. You remember SARS? Was that
fashion?
The pre-coronavirus.
Oh, right, that was
disease.
another.
It was another
one.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly. So basically, we were like, I think we were at least like 20/21. We went over, and it was amazing. Like the first night was like Iron Maiden, and the second night was actually supposed to be headlined by Limp Bizkit.
Wow.
But they pulled out. So the headliners were Audio Slave. The headliners.
That's a pretty good replacement. Yeah.
So
a good replacement, but I would have loved a Limp Bizkit.
Oh my God, I would love to see a Limp Bizkit show. Yeah.
But the hilarious thing was
especially at 21. Wow.
I'm probably I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan. And it was my first time to ever see Iron Maiden, so we were so pumped.
That's amazing.
So of course we're there. We're up at the front because we stayed there the whole day. Up the front. We stayed there the whole day. We went at like 7 o'clock. Sunstroke. The whole lot happened to us. But anyway, so the next morning I woke up, right, and you know the dangly bit you have in your in the back of your throat?
Tonsils.
You know, the bit that the little dangly thing that comes down between your tonsils.
Your tonsil?
Oh, is that not the
it?
tonsil?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a tonsil.
I always call
Is
it
that-
like your
maybe.
your throat dick or whatever.
Your throat dick. Okay, well that sounds a lot better.
Well, anyway, basically my little dangly thing in the back of my throat, right? It was like, it had, from all of the singing I was doing, it had enlarged to the size of like a little cocktail
What?
sausage. And it was like lying on my tongue.
Oh my
So I woke
God.
up in the tent and I was like, I have SARS, right? So we all marched up like, of course, dressed like fucking idiots, like marched up towards the tent, and we were like, oh, everybody get out of the way. Our friend has SARS. So everyone was like, ah! They just like stampeded away from us, and the person was just like, it's not SARS. You just take it easy tonight, okay? And give us the little spray. But that's that.
And it healed up and everything was fine.
And it healed up and it was fine. And the same thing happened the next day for Audio Slave.
That's a great way to cut in line, isn't it? It's like, I got something.
I got SARS.
I got something, guys.
Absolutely,
And then you just like,
absolutely.
yes, sir. Yes, straight away. Go that way. Straight away, yeah.
But also on the subject of festivals, you yourself, before everything went to shit, you were doing the Rockstar karaoke at the
was.
festivals. And what was that like?
Oh no, I never did. Oh yes, I did.
You did
Sorry,
the Forever
geez,
Young
how
Festival,
did
wasn't
I
it?
not remember that?
Because I was so jealous.
Were you so
I
jealous?
was so
Yeah.
jealous. It looked so
because you
great.
took part in some of the Rockstar
Yeah,
karaoke
yeah.
stuff in Sinead that we did. Basically, guys, if you don't know at home, I used to run a live band karaoke show. You had the lyrics on screen. You had like awesome musicians playing, being your backing band, and we had like a variety of about 50 songs, I think, in our repertoire, which is huge for a band to learn. And we didn't even know if we were going to play the song in the night because you got to decide what you sang, and it was an amazing experience. We had like wigs and stuff and glasses. That will be coming back.
Will it be coming back?
We had a great one, yeah, for our Forever Young Festival. So Tony Hadley and Nick Kershaw, I think we had at the thing. So we were basically played after them, and 300 people piled into the back, if not more, and rocked out with us. And they were singing songs like, you know, Living on a Prayer, which is such a kick-ass song, and like loads of other fantastic, Lionel Richie, like everything from like the 80s to 70s to like even a bit of modern stuff like Bruno Mars and stuff. But amazing experience,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
Great.
what if you were to quantify every single festival you've ever gone to, what would be your favorite festival?
Oh, it's so hard, you know, because I can't remember them. I think I enjoyed them too much. But
I suppose that's a good thing. If you can't remember it, you probably had a good time.
My next festival I'm going to, if it, you know, please God, it happens soon, I'll be sober. Like, I honestly just want to be sober and just be completely clear and enjoy the music.
And you
and enjoy
remember
the
every
experience.
second.
I remember every millisecond of the experience because, like, I'm
This is
sick
it.
of not being able to remember everything.
So,
but yeah.
Speaking of an experience you want to remember every second of, we have an amazing guest coming up right now. Our second guest of the evening, who is a guest you will be familiar with if you are fans of Irish independent music, because this person was the frontman of renowned Irish band Gypsies on the Autobahn. He's also reimagined tracks for a plethora of Irish artists under the guise of Yearn. Now this man is back and pushing forward as a solo artist with his exquisite debut album, And You Chose Not to Laugh.
Brilliant
So folks, I want you to give it up for the fantastic Jay Smith.
Oh, it's nice sitting on this side for a change.
I know, right? It's a very comfy couch.
Yeah. Are you feeling comfy there? You kind of dip in, don't you?
This is 100%. Like, you know, I think it boosts the, you know, the vibe, the endorphins. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So we're once your exhaustive round of applause finishes. There we go.
Because we can't hear it out here.
No,
is
that the truth? I feel like I've all the power. Call the shots.
That's what happened earlier then. So the round of applause kept happening, and now everyone's just like, "What? I don't hear anything. You big psycho." Yeah.
There you
So
go.
now I know.
Absolutely. So Jay, you're tremendously welcome to the show today. We're absolutely delighted to have you. And like I've listened to a lot of your back catalogue today, including your amazing first album. So we're going to get on top. But first of all, I'm going to say to yourself, so you're, as a solo artist, you're coming on here, but you've kind of done all of this before. As in, you've done the press junkets, you've done the, you know, chatting to the lads, you've done, you know, the recorded, I suppose, songs. But have you done this on your own. Is it a different experience doing it by yourself than doing it with, like, you know, a band of brothers, going out with your own stuff and just, you know, having to do things on yourself?
Every now and then it had to be me on my own because either someone would show up too hungover, or, you know, not able to chat or anything. Yeah, I mean, it's good in a way because you've no one else to blame. Everything falls on your own shoulders, so you just have to keep, you know, chugging away and making sure that, you know, you put your message out there and that people hear your voice, you know. Absolutely.
And do you find yourself is this something that comes naturally to you, or is it a thing? Are you, you know,
I'm a lot more comfortable like, behind a guitar and a mic.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is all window dressing for what you would probably like to spend your time doing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really spoke to anyone in about 15 months, so really? Like this is. I mean, I don't want to.
Good thing or a bad thing? There?
Most of the time, it's a bad thing. But
yeah, absolutely. But I suppose it's like a fantastic way to focus on your music. So your debut album is incredibly moving, as I said earlier, and it's like, you know, between your singing, between your playing, the orchestral movements, like over the course of the album, it's like it brings you to a real emotional height. And I wanted to ask you, like, you know, what was the process behind that album, and what was the story behind that album, and were you happy with it when it was finished?
Yeah, no, I was absolutely thrilled. I mean, I had lots of my friends playing on it and friends mixing it, lots of good people involved. The whole process was, I probably started it when I was still in the band, kind of kept it to myself. It's just something that I wanted to do, just, you know, a little pride project, you know, just to say that I could actually do it, you know. So we went in and we had a day in a studio with a friend again. Got all the live tracking done in a day, and then I brought everything home and started kind of piecing things extra together. And then when they got to a certain point, I could hear strings and I could hear brass and all that kind of stuff. Amazing. So got some good players together for that. And it was like the whole project is kind of home project, but it's all about players in a room together. So like
it was a bit of analog as well. You were saying some
the whole desk was that we went in for all the live tracking was analog, and any kind of live tracking I did was all through analog desk with a guy called Ben Rollins who he worked at the DIT Conservatory, and he's down in Kilkenny doing lots of stuff now. He's kind of a well sought after guy. So we'd like analog was exactly what we wanted, and we all wanted to kind of have a sound of players playing together in a room. Like it's me, two friends, and my brother. So and we've been friends for so long because we had the same management. They were with Little Green Cars, and now they're with Soda Blonde, who just put out an album today, which is phenomenal.
Amazing.
But, like so we were drinking buddies. We were hanging out all the time, and me and my brother Dan, he was in the band Gypsies with me, and like we're only 11 months apart, so there was a kinship the whole time. So that was the kind of process of it. The story behind most of it is it was all based around maybe like love and the darker side of love. I had chatted to a friend who's I was like, oh, why don't you ever just like write a love song for your wife, you know? I don't really I don't know, that would feel kind of weird.
If someone tells you to do that, you're never going to respond to that.
Yeah, because every other song was about like assholes he's had in his life, or, you know, like people who annoyed him and that kind of stuff. So so I kind of I'm going to write a whole album about love, you know? That's what my plan was. And I didn't want it to be a kind of crooner kind of album. You know, that wasn't what the kind of love I wanted to portray. And then it was on my wife's birthday, we miscarried our first child. So that coloured a lot of it, and kind of everything. After that point, most of the lyrics are written, and you know, it was about, we got very close because of the whole thing. We hadn't known a lot of people who went through the same thing, so people came out of the woodwork, you know, quite fast and told us their stories. And I was very, like, even to this day, like, I haven't talked to another man face to face who's gone through it. My wife's amazing. She's put on like whole talks with people, like where people can share about their own miscarriages, pregnancy losses, whatever it has. So she's had a lot of people to talk to about. Like even myself as a 30-year-old man, I hadn't really met anyone who'd went through it, and I hadn't spoke to another man. So I wanted to be very open and very vulnerable and very raw, and it was coming from a place where Gypsy had started to, you know, we were saying our goodbyes to the world, and so I was in a very angry place as well. So that helped with me allowing myself to be as raw as I could, because at that point it didn't really matter what other people, you know, it was basically just about me trying to get as raw a thing out as I could.
And music helps process obviously a lot of stuff. And
I mean I'm a quiet guy, so I don't chat to these things too much, but I'm very happy to stand up in front of a crowd and say these kind of things. That gives me a place in which I feel I can talk about it. And I know that when you colour these kind of topics in in some kind of like maybe a nice kind of song, or you know, some kind of orchestral stuff, you know, it kind of helps ease the conversation a little bit. And so that was my kind of goal with this album anyway. And I mean, right now we're expecting a child, and
amazing,
and he could come any minute. So I'm looking out there at the back there for Keith, because he has my phone.
We're looking for hand signals. Yeah, it's like, get out of here, go.
Yeah, I just saw him. He just ran to grab the phone.
We got the engine started and everything outside for you.
So it could come any moment now.
That's amazing.
That's the good side at the end of the.
Thanks so much for popping in as well, all things considered.
Like, I mean, my wife didn't want me to come down, you know, but I was a bit naive. It's like, the due date's not for another 2 weeks, but then
you never know. Yeah,
you never know.
I'm praying I get home just enough in time.
For sure. So I was going to say to you that it's like, obviously this has been a very transformative experience for you.
Definitely.
You know, considering everything that happened, and you had to do that through a lockdown as well. I was just thinking, so you had obviously, you know, especially with your brother being in the Gypsies on the Autobahn, was this a completely different experience writing this album, or was that the same creative process that you would have picked, you know, kind of raw emotions, obviously not anything as raw as what transpired, but is it a different process of writing between, you know, on your own and writing in a band?
The process is kind of similar, because like in Gypsies we would write every single song together in the room, like from start to finish, except for lyrics and melodies and stuff. And I would still write at home by myself, but it was kind of like in the Gypsies, if I wanted to get a point across to people, like I found it very hard to actually articulate that. Kind of tell, this is what I'm hearing when I'm hearing this. You know, maybe a bland set of chords, but you know, I could hear all this stuff in my head. So often what I would do when I was writing songs is I would record them, and I would try and get them to a point at which I thought, this is getting my message across. So the process was kind of similar for me. The only difference was I had to find players to do it, and I had to ensure that every part of each song was good, and I didn't have, you know, someone else to really bounce these kind of things off, except some very, very close friends here. And my brother as well, Dan, he was a great help with throughout the whole thing. So we're only 11 months apart, as I said, so like we're best friends.
So it was easy to kind of swindle him into the project, was it?
And he's got a great ear for music, and he's an amazing piano player, but he played drums with the Gypsies, and there was a song on it, the second song, In the Depth of Something Beautiful, that I knew he was going to be the kind of the drummer I wanted to play in it, because he just has a feel.
For sure.
And drummers, I mean, that's what drummers are. They have a feel. Like that's like they can play the exact same pattern, but it sounds different in every single player. That
differentiate between a good and a great drummer, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and even with the great drummers, I've done a lot of work with Max Zaska, who is an artist called like Zaska. That's his funk band name, and I've seen like astonishing players who've came through New Park, players who've just really taught themselves a lot, and playing the exact same patterns, same rhythms, but it's whatever. It's just maybe a feel or how someone hits something.
The nuances.
So I just knew he was going to be on one or two of the songs anyway. So
it's brilliant. Tell us a little bit about the remixes as well, because you released 3 remixes, wasn't it? Blood Orange.
I've done. I did. I did 3.
Something Beautiful you mentioned as well, of course, and I'm Sorry as well. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
I mean, that Urine project was just, there's kind of a lot of stuff, kind of like encapsulated with trying to put out music. There's like this, like a slog kind of thing. You make the music, and then it's the next bit is the hard bit, you know. So Urine is this project that I started when I was in the Gypsies, that was so far removed from the Gypsies that it didn't feel like I was treading on anyone's shoes, or it was just easy stuff, that ways to collaborate with people. So I always kind of hear melodies and see if there's different chord structures that can play behind them, and put them to kind of like, you know, dance beats, and go for that. So I was trying to snowball the album release. So I decided to put out the set 3 remixes before the album came out, you know, just to try and get as many people chatting about it, you know. So it was a fun. I love doing them. It's so much fun, and I don't have too much attachment to where these things go. It's a nice thing to spend a couple hours at. And just
the remixes are great, because I speak to a lot of singer-songwriters that would have a remix version of their song, and it seems to be a common thing, isn't it, to kind of branch out to sort of people that might not be used to listening to singer-songwriters as well, that might be kind of more used to the kind of commercial radio thing, so you're kind of reaching out to sort of a wider audience and pulling them into you as well. So
and
it's a great idea.
There's a massive culture now, exactly, with like social media. Like you see, like TikTok is massive for this thing, you know. People are remixing old stuff, and they just want to put the next video to that, you know. So the remixes are really coming alive, and it taught me a lot about production, and taught me a lot about how to manipulate perfect sound, you know, because when you're recording stuff live, you know, depending on where you put a mic to something, it changes everything.
sure.
And when you're just making stuff in the box, it's perfect sound, and you can manipulate it however you want. So it's taught me lots about it, and it's lots of fun to do always. So.
What kind of software do you use for remixing?
It's developed into a horrendous process. I have like four kind of steps. So kind of make something in Machine, which is a Native Instruments thing. I kind of learned on that because my brother Kev, who's like an Irish rap artist called Kozak, he started on Machine. He had bought this thing. It was like 300 quid with a bit of software, a bit of hardware. Really powerful, lots and lots of different things. So I'd borrow his laptop whenever he wasn't using it and try and do some stuff on it. And he taught me some things on that. So I bring it into that, and then if I have to overdub, I bring in Logic, and then I bounce it all down into Pro Tools and start going through that, you know. So, but yeah.
So Jay, we've got a great insight into your process. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to let the listeners at home, for anyone who hasn't heard your music, or anyone who has been waiting for a long time to hear the wonderful tracks that you recorded for us, and we're going to go to Jay Smith's first song, recorded exclusively for Transmission TV, which is called Divine. And of course, if you have any questions for Jay on the other side of this song, we're going to ask some of those questions. So get typing, and we'll see you after Divine.
Give it all back to me. I
Folks, so we are back with the amazing Jay Smith, and that was Divine. So, folks,
that was divine.
Divine.
That
it was 100% divine by name, divine by nature.
It's always going to happen, wasn't it?
100%, absolutely. This is it.
Sorry for that. I shouldn't have. I'll just.
I mean,
that's why it's a good song title.
Yeah.
You could have called it.
There's many quips.
100%. Yeah. So, folks, get those questions coming in. We have a couple. We have Anthony Riley has asked, what does the J stand for in?
Oh, that's a good one.
J Smith.
Jelly bean.
Jelly bean.
Okay, yeah. My mother and father kind of were.
Is that hyphenated jelly bean? Is it? Or is that one word?
No, they were strangely enough against hyphens. My
were they?
parents. Yeah. So
it was after the war and hyphens were banned for a bit, were they?
Hyphist.
They're hyphists. Yeah. So.
We've all been there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So we have some amazing songs coming in, or comments coming in. We have Adele McAleer, I believe, says, yes, this song reminds me of Neil Young, Harvest Moon, which is which is a good compliment.
Banging tune.
Speaking of fantastic banging tunes, I have a little question for you myself. So whenever I'm talking to other artists on this show, I always like to ask about the little interesting minutiae of, when you're on stage and when you're performing, that one moment where you just think, you just get that rush and you know that this is what you want to do. It could be on stage, it could be, in the recording studio, it could be writing something down and you just get that flush. And I talked to a lot of artists who are like, we have that moment. But just any particular moment that comes to your mind where you just were playing music or involved in music and you just thought, this is class and this is what I want. I've made the correct decision applying this to my life.
Yeah, I mean, like there's been quite a few times, but I think it's kind of when you finish a song and you look out to the crowd and you speak, and then the whole place goes quiet and listens to you. Mm-hmm. There's been a good few moments, because I would have spoke quite openly and frankly when I was with the Gypsies, and there's a kind of moments where you really feel listened to. I think everyone's striving for that in life, it doesn't have to be on stage, you just want to, everyone wants to just be listened to, so, because we're all very egotistical, but those kind of moments, that's happened, quite a few different places, big venues, small venues.
What's been a standout audience for you then in that regard?
I mean, Ruby Sessions was always incredible. It was always amazing for that.
It's very kind of homey there as well. It's close, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Connor, who sets it up, along with a couple other people, they it's always been that way. They've always they've made it their mission to have people, who just want to hear music, want to hear good stuff, and they don't know what they're going to see, and they make a point of people miss the last bus home. There's the whole thing. Ruby Sessions have always been incredible, and I mean, Whelan's, it's like there's a couple of great shows in there, and Vicar Street had a couple of moments as well, but Ruby Sessions was always top of my list of the place I wanted to play. So hopefully that comes back now with the.
Please God, it comes sooner than later.
They were running for like 19, 20 years without fail,
Wow.
And I don't know how much money they raised for the Simon community, so I hope that comes back. So.
No, that's great.
So I suppose speaking of live performances, and you having been a person who's been in the business for, a while with the band, and, I think we all got, used to the set in stone way of doing things. You form a band, you practice, you write songs, you put the songs out into the world, you make a record. Obviously, that's all been turned on its head. Yeah. So for you, who obviously, have had singles, have had records out before, how is it different this time with the change in how you need to promote your music and how you need to think about it? There's no live crowds. There's no, does it change the way you approach making music as an artist, or?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I find if you are changing your process to suit those kind of things, I think that's a detriment. If so happen that your process fits that kind of mold, that's good on you. But no, I don't think anyone should change their process. Especially if they've hit a winner, you shouldn't change your process. I mean, there's differences nowadays. People are kind of putting out singles more often and kind of stacking the singles. Maybe wait, not like, but I'm a romantic. I like big,
for sure,
big things. Like sat down today, listened Soda Blonde's album that came out.
Amazing.
My brother Kozak, his album came out. I love sitting down and just listening to a moment in this person's life, from start to finish. I just absolutely love that thing. So I know it's not the best in terms of social marketing and stuff, but putting out large things, I think, is the way I like to hear music in here. So.
Have you considered putting it on vinyl, or have you put this out on vinyl?
I haven't put it out on vinyl.
Okay.
No. I mean, I was funding it all myself, so it just got a little bit pricey. But I'll be doing something for Christmas anyway. Just have a small limited edition.
Awesome. It's nice to have the physical copy of something, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
something that we've kind of lost as well, isn't it? A lot with marketing.
I think it's
and
coming
stuff.
back because that's how people feel they can contribute to the artist now by buying their merch. And I don't know how many people actually listen to vinyl, but the vinyl sales are,
For sure.
are amazing. You know,
Yeah, they have come back.
and
yeah.
it is a lovely thing to take it out of the sleeve.
Oh, stop, yeah, and have the
put
little
the needle in
visuals
the
and
right
everything.
place and stuff,
The
yeah.
process of listening to music.
Well, we were talking about tapes earlier,
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
we?
absolutely.
When we were with Saibh Skelly, and we were like, oh, maybe we should bring tapes back as well.
But
you
they
know,
are
why not?
back. They're back
You're saying
already.
they're back.
Loads
Yeah.
of people put a
already.
cassette.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah.
many
I've
people
seen a
listen to
couple
them.
of
as
I
well,
know,
like,
but they're
it's very
for
hard.
souvenir.
It's easier to find a record player than
For sure.
a cassette player.
100%, yeah.
Oh, well, I might have one in my attic somewhere, I'm sure.
See,
Like,
my
Or your
son had that
man's all
talk boy.
scored or something.
Yeah.
it's funny, you think that this stuff, as technology improves, it's all just
Yeah.
become obsolete. But there is something about the nostalgia of things, isn't it, with our generation? I suppose as well with the new generation of like, oh, they never experienced that. So to have it even on like a cassette, for example, to have it even on your shelf or something, it holds more value than what it used to be when it had a practical value almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
And
interesting.
music's
how
just
things-
up in the ether now these days.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing to physically hold on to. Like,
That's it. Yeah.
it's strange.
yeah.
So now, before we move on to our little fun segment, we have a few comments.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
We have our
I'm shiting
famous
it.
last words. We have a few comments that people have given in just on what they were listening to there.
Jesus.
So basically, we have. Sorry, 1 second. I'm woeful.
It's like we have no comments. Actually, that was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can't read.
So
I was
basically,
gonna say put your glasses on, but you have them on.
We have this is it. We have another question from Anthony Riley. As a man with his own experience in the music industry, what is your take on the route Saibh Skelly and people like that take? As in the social, I presume, talk about the social media type of, purely based on social media rather than, Well, I suppose Saibh is different because she does the busking, but as in launching a career via social media.
I mean, I don't like the fact that you have to do that, but I think every artist has to adapt there's like been no successful artist who hasn't adapted to changes in, how media goes out, So I think I'd like to be able to change it, but I don't think there's enough people who want to change it, So I think artists just have to adapt to it.
Sure.
And it's amazing that you can put a video out and these many people watch it or listen to it, and maybe re-listen and re-watch it, send to friends, It can be so organic to get it out there. And I have a lot of gripes with how things are controlled, how like information is controlled, If you're not active, these things don't go out, But that's all about artists not adapting, really.
Absolutely.
If you're not doing it all the time, then you haven't adapted to the news.
We also have, we'll take one more question, and this is from Brew. So, how you doing,
You
Brew?
sure you want to read that one out?
Okay. It's actually a good question. So, Brew
Only
says
messing, Brew.
that I never see Jay
know
play
Brew.
chords. So was wondering, does Jay use different tuning? What sort of tuning do you use? Because he never seems to play.
This album has 2 tunings. I tend to throw a lot of different things, but I always have my mind in live as well, so how easy it would be to swap guitars out and that kind of stuff. So there's a standard tune, and then there's this one that I learned from Paul Grady, which is like it's DGD GBD. It's kind of like if you're going to do DAD F sharp AD, it's the same chord shapes. I don't know how interesting it is, but same chord shapes, but just down a string. So I just started using them for the crack. I was learning one of his songs, to Art McBride or something, I think, and just love the tuning. So
Sure.
so there's 2 tunings on the record. Yeah.
So thanks, folks. Thanks for your questions. If you have any more questions or comments, we've got a million comments here just saying how amazing your voice is, how amazing your songs are, how amazing your playing is. So thanks to everybody that has commented. But at the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to absolutely kill you here, because this is our fun segment. Because we heard that you are a what did they call it? A cinephile, a fan of cinema in all shapes and forms.
I thought.
You never heard the word cinephile?
No,
really?
I've never heard that either.
I thought you were being very
I think I'm
abrasive
gonna
all of a sudden. Okay, cinephile. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Well,
Anything with file at the end is always
it's
a little bit
dark,
scary.
so
I get you.
Well, I mean no harm. So anyway, what we've done is we've come up with this little game for yourself, Jay. So what we've done is we have taken various trailers.
Okay.
From was going to say well-known movies, but we went out of our way to get just stuff you would never have heard of.
Okay.
And we are going to
You have a hat.
I have a hat. We're going
underneath
to do
your table.
True. We're going to do our best. What do you call it?
Movie trailer voice.
Movie trailer voice.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
like this
yeah.
summer, and we're going to narrate some of these things, and just basically use your imagination. We're going to just basically react to what we see on the screen.
Just go with what's on screen, but we're going to there's going to be a little bit of a help. So we've got actually pre-existing sentences in the hat as well
start you off.
to kind of start us off,
Yeah.
and then from there we're going to continue with the film.
Yeah, so this is gonna be crazy.
Guys at home, I hope this works out to be mildly entertainment, this segment. Not because because we've never done anything like this before, and we're kind of putting James on the spot here, so apologies, James. But it's a bit of crack. And what's the say? If you want to roll the clip there, Keito, it's called the movie trailer challenge. Yes.
Oh, we got the music.
Oh, there we go. Movie trailer voice.
Did you just make that? That's incredible.
That is incredible. That's very impressive.
It's just a template, like you just put in the text. It wasn't anything fancy. Don't worry.
So what we're going to do is we'll do one. So who?
I think you should start because you kind of came up with the idea ish.
Sure. So
if you want to know,
it's handier for the old COVID-19 and all that crap.
Did you shake the hat? Did you shake the hat?
Listen,
now?
do you know what? I think there's 4 pieces of paper in here, so I'll shake it when you. I've drawn one out anyway. So,
okay.
So basically, we're going to start off with this.
So we need to zoom in on his face actually, and just kind of while he's doing it.
Okay.
So we get a good.
I don't know if anyone at home has picked up on what this is, but it will all become clear. So we're going to start off with this. Dave Duggan was just a small town troll living under a small town bridge. Until he got a shot at the big time.
Roll movie. Let's hope we can get that up. Oh, there we go. I think the top of your head's a little cut there.
Okay, here we go.
You want to change that camera at him a little so his head's a bit better now.
All right, here we go. Dave Duggan saw blinding lights in the sky, a top hat spinning in the air. What could a young man from Ballyfermot do in the face of such amazing cobwebs and crack going on? There he is.
Jesus, what
this is it. I don't know. I'm like special effects, car chases, strange people.
Which one's Dave Duggan?
Terror. I don't know. And then I would, there you go. There's the bridge. This is falling apart very quickly. All right. Be prepared for action, screaming, clowns apparently, and a dinosaur eating a load of old people. Dave Duggan means business. Watch out, dudes. Don't cross the boss and don't mess with a troll because he's got the big top on his sides and a trampoline to catch your very nightmares in. Yes, sexy dames and balloon dogs. It's Dave Duggan that hits the big time. I don't even know what this is. Right, this is absolutely
this is crazy.
Yeah. So hey, get ready for.
What's the movie called?
Get ready for Clowns Go Wild. Coming to a cinema near you as soon as they open. Yeah, I think. God, how long is this trailer?
That's a long trailer.
That's a long trailer. Killer Clowns from outer space. There we go.
Yay, that was deadly. Well done,
So
man.
how do we get on with that?
That was fun. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I think you did a good job. Yeah, that's better than what I'll do.
Keith, do we have time for another one of those?
Yeah, we're going to get... Jay, do you want to do one?
One more.
I'll try. I don't know what's going to happen though.
So James, we get James to do one.
More.
We do 2 more. So if you want to pass the hat over to James.
Awesome. So,
and don't put that one in yet. Keep that one out, and then James is going to do one. And then Adam, you can kind of do a close-up of the face, can you, for their... for when he's doing it, you know, the kind of dramatic thing. And
I was going to say, let him keep the piece of paper as well if he needs it as a bit of a reminder, you know.
Yeah,
because he didn't know about this. You guys had a bit of a head start.
Keep the piece of paper there,
okay.
James, actually. You can frame that.
Yeah, I'll frame it.
Yeah.
I'll put it above the baby's crib.
There you go.
But it depends what it says.
Exactly.
Okay, do you want to roll, kind of like get ready, the movie ready?
Yeah?
Yeah, or you can read out first and then the movie will kind of start straight away, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going this one.
Yeah, you look at that camera there, we're going to zoom in at you.
Okay. Joey never liked his kooky stepdad, but this summer, things are about to change That sounds very sexual.
That's very good. It's convincing.
Poor Joey.
Poor Joey.
Cum shots. Men with ties. Bow ties. We walk the line between kosher and non-kosher.
Jeff Goldblum.
God, this is a hard one. Which one's Joey? His stepdad never knew. His mom slept around. Until one day, a cowboy and a dress.
So much happening.
And aliens and Mad Max and what the flip is this movie?
I have no idea what this is. It looks.
This summer things are about to change. Where the Power Rangers lose their Buckaroo Banzai. What the hell was
Across
that?
the 8th dimension.
Oh God! I don't think on the spot. Man.
That was pretty good. That was amazing. On the spot, like fair play to you. No, we definitely put you on the spot. Fair play to you. All right, let's get me over with, guys.
Yes, let's do it.
By the way, this hat was a gift by one of our guests, Chase Nova.
Oh,
yeah, gave us this hat. And he said he was gifted it by a club owner or something like that.
Because I was looking at it and I didn't know whether we should address it. It was like, oh shit, was this stolen?
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. The scaredy cat.
The scaredy cat.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Kozak, I'm going to just say this. This is the last one that's left.
Is it the worst one?
No, I think it's the one that's most applicable to you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what job you do on it.
Well, look. Anyway, I've done worse things on this show, so whatever, you know. Okay. Which camera am I looking at? This one, is it? This one, is it? Okay. Excuse me, I gotta get my voice ready. So Keith, are you ready for the clip, yeah? Is that lined up? So I'll just announce this first. Okay, so let me put my theater voice on. Coming to a theater near you, a brand new movie that critics are calling even sexier than Angela's Ashes. Angela started off in a really dodgy neighborhood with a couple of his mates. His ma was a bit of a skank, wearing sunglasses. But all things began to change when he began to notice a woman and then a man standing beside him. Then he decided, do you know what, I'm gonna start a rock band. And then this bleeding yoke came out the side of the stage and started looking at him, and he was like, come on to the stage. And that's where things got creepy. The one-eyed monster became part of Angela's dream. Things are hyped up more than they should be. In this film, this blockbuster coming to a theater near you will engage, enthrall, and make you feel weird inside. Naked bodies of men, big hair, and thrusting crotches are only a few of the things you will enjoy in this experience. So bring your popcorn and bring your soda for the blockbuster of the summer, featuring Joseph Smith as Angela, Peter Johnson as the weird one-night alien, Rick Toby that plays the hand that just went through that man's body, starring John Kill Tor, produced by John Mickle Tor, and everything else was actually done by that one person, weirdly enough. Guest starring some porn stars probably on the side. Don't forget to rock and roll this summer in all cinemas near you.
That was bloody impressive.
I actually surprised myself.
I know you're the guest, and I know
that was great, man.
I think begrudgingly we may have to give Kozak the nod on that one.
No way.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a side job. Maybe I should do this.
Maybe you should. I was like, you see how that shit that John Mickle Tor was doing, and that with the bare chested and the big hair. Yeah. I think that's your OnlyFans that we were talking about earlier on. Don't
be mentioning that in front of James here now. All right, this is uncalled for.
We're only surmising. We're only planning out loud. It's fine.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. We just have to iron out the kinks.
Got to make money.
Yeah, and put in the kinks.
It's 2021.
Kinks.
You know, it's what the Gen Zs are all about 100%. Now. You're saying, you know, you have to kind of mold your. Well, you don't have to. It's like stick to your truths, but sometimes you have to, you know, work with the system that's in play. And OnlyFans is staring me in the face.
Absolutely. And we'll be staring you. People watching your OnlyFans will be staring you in something else if they're lucky. Anyway, enough of that. bollocks. It's time for... It said we're going to introduce a couple of wonderful songs from Jay Smith that was recorded exclusively for this very, very show. So please put your hands together for 2 songs, In the Death of Something Beautiful and The Car. And Jay, we'd like to really, really thank you for coming onto the show and
awesome.
Engaging with us and chatting with us about your wonderful new album.
Yeah.
Cheers, Colin.
Sorry about the segment part.
I'll forgive.
So before we head to the songs, just any last words that you'd like to put through, or anything you'd like to plug, just for our Transmission TV fans.
No, I mean, like, I'm in the baby period, you know, so I haven't got too much going on, you know. But I'll be doing some gigs in October and November, so just keep an eye out. So
fantastic.
But for the moment, I'm nesting.
Cool,
awesome.
cool,
Great
cool.
place to be, man. And best of luck with
Cheers,
the
thanks.
upcoming baby. Really wish you the very best.
Cheers.
And you guys at home, I hope you've enjoyed our experience with James. Of course, there's the links to his music are in the description as well, by the way. And if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to give it a like and a sub as well. That always goes a long way for us. And just to mention as well, we are playing part 3 of our Silence of the Shams sketch featuring Darren Conway as well to close off. So don't go anywhere. But of course, as Colin mentioned, we've got a couple of songs.
Absolutely. We've got the In the Death of Something Beautiful, and we got The Car for the fantastic Jay Smith. So enjoy, folks.
Thank you. This is a song called In the Death of Something Beautiful. Was told I'd be a father. 40 weeks premature. Now I don't know if I'm escaping or a child is being rescued. 'Cause I'm carrying my demons, and they swore they'd raise her too. Is it wrong to see a blessing in the death of something beautiful? It's a burden to know you deserve all the pain coming in you, the pain coming in you. It's a circle, so it feels good. Makes the pain walk going true, the pain walk going true. No matter what I'm carrying, I just wanna hold my child. 'Cause I feel like I've had my practice carrying the weight of the world, my short life. It's a burden to know you deserve all the pain coming in you, the pain coming in you. It's a circle, so it feels good. Makes the pain work going true, the pain work going true. It's a burden to know you deserve all the pain coming in you, the pain coming in you. It's a circle, so it feels good. Makes the pain work going true, 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 the pain work going true. Our pains were going true. This is my last song. It's called The Car. are we just drawn by the warmth of her bed? Like moths to a flame, but the embers are wet. Is loneliness just some kind of regret? We live in the moment till something is said. I couldn't even give you the time it takes to look in the mirror, 'cause I don't know if I'll be home. I'm driving off in the car that we bought. You said it was needed for the child that we lost. I'm getting smaller, but growing is guilt for leaving us broken without one final kiss. I couldn't even give you the time it takes to look in the mirror, 'cause I don't know if I'll be home. I've never left, too scared of the cause, 'cause I just believe in the part of me that everyone loves. I've never left, too scared of the cause, 'cause I just believe in the part of me that everyone loves. I've never scared of the cause, 'cause I just believe in the part of me that everyone loves. I guess that I'll be coming home.
I was just looking at my hair. I was like, is that, what's the story there with my haircut? And that is the amazing Jay Smith, guys. What a absolutely wonderful musician,
Amazing,
I have to say.
amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. What a fantastic show.
Yeah,
Amazing
great show,
guest.
great show, I have to say. And thanks so much for
Not a bother.
joining me on
Always-
this.
Always a pleasure to try out your comfy couch.
Yeah, it's a very comfy couch,
Yes,
isn't it? Yeah,
yes,
and thanks
yes,
everybody
yes.
for tuning in. Don't worry, we're not over yet. We're going to play part 3 of our sketch with Darren Conway, Silence of the Shams. But I just wanted to take this moment. So we're going to close off on that. So we'll leave you with that. But before we go, I guess I just want to mention and say big thanks to Saibh Skelly for popping on, our first guest. What an awesome musician.
Amazing,
And her
amazing.
details, if you've just tuned in or you haven't checked her out yet, I highly recommend you check our description in the video there. And all the details of everybody involved will be there. And of course, I want to thank James Smith, just our last guest there, for popping in. And as you saw, what an amazing performance. Those were 2 songs, In the Death of Something Beautiful and The Car, that you heard there. So those videos will be released next week on our social medias and on Tsunami Studios social media. So definitely follow the guys as well. Tsunami Studios, this is where we are at. This wonderful studio. And I want to thank as well the wonderful Maximillion Foy here with me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as I said, my pleasure, and just happy to be on board. This Transmission TV is fantastic, and you know, given a stage, given a voice, and given this wonderful facility over to Irish independent artists to do their thing and plug their amazing work is just such a fantastic thing. So all credit to yourself, Keto, and everybody here at Tsunami Studios.
Yeah, there's Keto as well. Big thanks, Keto. What's the story?
You always
enjoyed the
forget
show?
me, don't you, here in the cave.
You may talk now.
Yeah, yeah, well, I got me Zuckerberg mug, got me got all my little trinkets there, you know. And I'll be getting more of them, and I'll probably place them around the places. So
it's all about the mugs.
Yeah, I'll be getting a few of them, haven't I?
Yeah. Do you like my mug, do you?
Yeah, I got that.
Do you see what it says, guys?
Yeah. Don't shh.
We can't say it.
You can't. You get kicked off YouTube for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, that's why it's a hidden message.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, we'll.
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing as well to the guys at home, and just say like big thanks to you guys, of course, as well for tuning in 100%. And interacting with us. You know, the show would be less without the people that watch it as well, of course. So big shout out to yourselves at home, all 19 of you watching now, which is really cool. Don't forget to give us a like on the stream if you've enjoyed the show and you want to support it a little bit. You can give us a sub, which is just that red button there below the video. That really helps us as well, because we're only new, and you know, we're still trying to kind of find our way and try to make this as entertaining as possible, but while also serving our community, essentially, of what we are passionate about, and that's music. Every single one of us here are highly passionate about music, and obviously you guys are as well. So it would be great to connect with you guys. We also have a Patreon if you guys are interested in going a little bit further. It starts at €3, so it's very little to support. It goes a long way. We've also got secret songs recorded by the guests that were on today. So Jay Smith and Saibh Skelly have both recorded secret songs. Nobody else is going to see them or hear them, only you guys. So for as little as a tenner a month, you can have access to secret songs, plus a load of backstage footage and background footage of like us just having the crack in here as well, and stuff that you just won't see. Just
for people to know as well, that the Patreon, that's only the tiers for reward systems. You can actually donate as much as €1 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally do that if it would help. It would really help us out. We've been putting a lot of effort onto even this skit we were working on. Took like so long, and we'd never done even a filmmaking type thing before. And we
never done
like,
a filmmaking course either.
Yeah, you know, so we kind of, like even jumping in acting, doing this, getting more music involved here, all this type of stuff, you know. So any support is really helpful at this stage.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we are actually, on that note with the Patreon, we are actually just going to give away if you want to just put on, do you have any like upbeat kind of music? And just before we go, we are going to give one of you guys at home a Patreon access. So 1 month access to that tier 2, what do you call it? That tier 2 tier.
Yeah, the €10 subscription tier, which gets you all the secret songs and backstage stuff and all the little what else? There's a few other things in there too, but they're the main big ones, you know. You get.
Yeah, you get your comment prioritized as well. We kind of get to see it more. We'll remember all our names, and plus we embed names as well of people into who are Patreon at the end of the show, so you get recognized as a Patreon.
And I'll give my thing on that. We actually tried to set that up a little while ago, but we had to. So we've done a few episodes without actually getting to do that yet, and we're sorry to our patrons, but they're going to be there. It's there from like last week onwards. So.
Jeez, you're not helping us sell it here, Keith. Oh, Jesus, why did you mention that part?
I've been working so hard now.
All right, well.
We had to change stuff around, unfortunately, at the last second. So
you recovered there. No, that was great. So, all right, guys. So we're going to announce. Let's see who we get in. Let's see out of the comments. We've got a few of yous regarding the festival. Only a few of yous mentioned. So if you want to throw in your thing, I don't know if we have time actually. But we're going to throw it over to drum roll.
I should really set one of them up.
Yeah.
A drum roll.
I don't have one ready for you. I'm sorry, and I'm not doing it now.
Do you know what? We're going to give Dublin Concerts a free 1 month Patreon access. So Dublin Concerts, fair play to you for tuning in. Great to see you there. Commenting away, and we're going to give you that Patreon sub. So fair play to you, brother. I hope you enjoyed that exclusive access. So yeah, we're gonna love yous and leave yous, guys. Thanks again. Not gonna hang around anymore. Enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful time. We're back in 2 weeks. We're gonna be joined by the awesome Pastiche and Neolithic as well, and we're also gonna have a special co-host as well for that one. So much appreciated once again, guys. And don't go in here. We're gonna play you the finale of our short party movie starring Darren Conway, Silence of the Shams. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
What are you fucking shouting for? Get a fucking haircut, will you?
Well, that's my story. I never did see Headaball again. My boss saw what I did at Tesco car park, and he could never look at me the same way. My career went to absolute shite. So here I am, waiting to retire with a crap pension and move away to a country I can't even pronounce the name of. Such is life.
Hello. I heard you got the sack.
Who's this?
Hate that.
Huh?
And the whole fucking time he was right under your nose. Would you believe that?
Hold on a minute. Head the ball.
Fucking cervical, huh?
Where are you?
You big fucking idiot. Columbo, going around thinking you're Columbo. You're having a patch on him.
Let me know where you are, man. You lied to me. There never was a Yup Bro, was there?
Ha! Laughable. Gonna have to go now anyway, right? Someone's gonna get clipped. Fucking have to clip a few people, if you know what I mean, right?
Headable.
See ya.
Headable.
Go on to the labour with you.
Headable.
You fucking idiot, you. Fucking Columbo. Scooby-Doo and the boys.
Bollocks.
Someone's gonna get clipped.